Okay. Both of these warm-ups are problems on the quiz, like problems on the quiz. So we need to make sure we got how to do this. Okay, so first thing, I see x equals -2, so I'm going to make that x plus 2. Everybody okay with that? And then notice that this is a cubed, and this has two things. So I'm still going to do a 3x2 box. Even though this is just x cubed plus 8. You guys remember what my suggestion was for when there are terms missing? Does anybody remember? Zeros, right. Okay. So I'm going to put x plus 2 on the side. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 8. Just to fill in all the spots. Is that required? No, it's not, but it helps. Okay. X cubed, x squared, 2x squared, negative 2x squared gives me 0. 2x, 4x. So if that's negative 4x, I need positive 4x to give me 0. I just heard the momentary realization that this is just not box and diamond. Theo, was that you? Oh, yeah, I heard it. I heard it happen that this is not box and diamond a bool. So over here to save space, I'm going to do A equals 1, B equals -2, C equals 4. Negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so this is 4 minus 16, which is -12. I did my little factor tree down here for the 12. Circle 2 comes outside with the I. 3 stays in. And then reduce. So this becomes 1 plus or minus I root 3. Okay, so this x equals -2, 1 single real root, 2 single complex roots. Are there any questions about what's up there at the moment before we graph and things? Any questions about quad formula or? Yes. I did division. So I made this 2 divided by 2 into 1. And I made this 2 divided by 2 into 1, but I didn't write 1i root 3.
Yeah, right one.
This one you have to write. But because it's plus. But this one you don't have to write because it's times. If you are a person that needs it, feel free to do that. Okay, now let's go to the graph. So we have degree 3 positive a. We only have one real root at -2. Okay, so degree 3 positive a value. Do I start at the bottom or the top? Bottom. Beautiful. Okay, so I need it to have 3 directions starting at the bottom, and I can only cross here. So I'm going to cross and then make my complex. So I count my directions 1, 2, 3, but only cross there. Now, does this bump have to be on this side? No. I could have done a bump down here and then crossed. To be honest with you, this graph doesn't have a bump at all. It's got an inflection point. I graphed it. I don't care about that though. What I care about is that you guys know it has 3 directions, crosses once, doesn't cross the other 2 times. Your graph is going to be off from the real one. It's okay. Yeah. So is mine. And this one kind of makes me sad because I really wanted the bump to be at 1. But then when I graphed it, there is no bump, which means that my theory is not right all the time. It's right some of the time, not all of the time. Ah! Okay, anyway. Okay, now let's move down. Did I do it? No. Crap. I thought I was done. Okay, so my left arrow is down, my right arrow is. I'm going to give you a hint that is very important. The one on the quiz on Friday is factorable. There's not quad formula. It's like this one, but it doesn't have this weird negative business to worry about. It's just a regular one. So just this is the process though, but it is diamond and boxable. You do not need to memorize quad formula or worry about I or any of that. Okay, now on the other hand, I very specifically said on the quiz topics that this type of problem will have either irrational or imaginary. So, okay, now let me ask you this. This is a real one, right? This is a real one. This is also a real one, but this is irrational. Can you guys tell that this one is irrational? Because it has a root. Yeah. Just a regular number. Okay, so you have 3 options. Regular number, like 0, -4/3, 3. Complex, which has an I in it, or irrational, which has a weird root in it. Okay, real ones, these are technically real too, but real ones do not have conjugates. Irrational and complex have conjugates. So if you have this, you need to know that there's also that. No, I'm not going to put plus negative. I'm just going to put minus. Okay. So this guy does not have a conjugate. This guy does not have a conjugate, but this guy does have a conjugate. Okay, so here we go. Y equals A Okay, for the 0, I'm just going to put x. You could put x minus 0 in parentheses. That's totally fine. Okay, now for this one, 3x plus 4. Does that make sense? Okay, now the top one here, x minus 1 minus root 6. And the bottom one is x minus 1 plus root 6. Any questions about my setup? Okay, I'm gonna do my 3 by 3 over here. I'm gonna try to write smaller than yesterday. And I'm gonna do these two. Okay, what is the answer that is in this box? -6. Can you all see where the -6 came from? Okay. So I have y equals a, x, 3x plus 4, x squared minus 2x minus 5. Now I'm going to multiply these two. And then I'm going to distribute the x. It's good for you. It'll build your frustration tolerance. My God, does she have crazy bad hearing? Yes. Yes, she does. I think it's just because I'm a mom and a teacher at the same time. So they just evolutionarily gave me ridiculously good hearing. Anyway, okay, now we're going to solve for A. So -50, say 3 times 2 to the 4th, 2. Did anyone do this calculation already without me? You did? Okay, just because I want to check myself because I have low trust. Okay, 3 times 2 to the 4th minus 2 times 2 to the 3rd. See, that's why I have low trust. Minus 23 times 2 squared. Is everything okay? Oh, that was excitingly satisfying. Hmm. Post it, yeah. And you want to put that A back into this step right here, right before you plugged the X and Y in. I have green, I have blue, I have either of those work? Yeah. You can just take that. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Y equals 1.5 x to the fourth minus x cubed minus 11.5 x squared minus 10x. What's wrong? Did I mental mathly that correct? Okay. The one on the quiz, by the way, is so much simpler than this one. So much simpler. It's the same thing, but there's not a bunch of these. There's only a couple, and the A is not a terrible decimal, it's a whole number. It's doable, I promise you. It's like when we coach cross country and we make you run 8 miles and you're gonna run a race that's 2. That's what this is here. So you're gonna feel like the race is fun because you've been practicing for 8 miles. Okay, we are using 2 resource pages in this packet today. If you could find the one that says 9.1.4a. Both of them are very quick. Oh, actually, before that, can you find your maze? I know this is weirdly timed, but take a look at your maze. Here is the maze key. Take a look at your maze and then look at the maze key. So my suggestion is if yours is not like this, take a highlighter or a pen or something, correct it on the maze and then figure it out in Access or ask me later. But I just want you to know if you're doing it right or wrong. Yes, honey. Yeah. It's not that hard. If you can do this in your head, then you can not show your work. If your mental math is that good. Okay, so does anyone need more time with the maze picture? Anyone have like a burning question about the maze they want to ask me before I move on? Like it's going to ruin their day if I don't answer something about the maze. Okay, now find the quiz review. Okay, I do not have time to go over any problem in its entirety, but I can spend time getting you unstuck on or started. So what questions do you want to ask me for this? Is there anything I can do for you? Yes, Connor. 10, 11, and 12. I'm not, okay. I'm not, we just, okay. I can get you. Well, it's exactly what we just did in the warm-ups, right here. No, right here. See, look right here on the warm-ups. It's like this step. Okay, so number 10. Now, you have to admit, how nice was Mrs. Talbot in number 10? Did anybody realize how nice I was? I gave you the conjugate, so you didn't have to think about it. So y equals x minus root 3 for this one, x plus root 3 for this one, x minus 2 minus root 10 for this one. X minus 2 plus root 10 for that one. So X, switch sign. X, switch sign, switch sign. Okay, now strategy. These two are conjugate, so you want to do a 2 by 2 with those first or second. It doesn't matter first or second, but separately. Then you want to do a 3 by 3 for these. Since they're conjugates, you don't have to do the whole thing for either one, and then do a box at the end to multiply them together. So 2 by 2 this out separately, like over here. 3 by 3 this out over here, and then get answers and then multiply the answers. Yeah, yeah. Yes, correct, correct. Excellent question. Okay, now, so Connor, you got number 9, okay?
Well, I don't know, sorry. That's easier.
Do you know what mult2 means?
No.
Does anybody know what mult2 means? Double, right, okay, so y equals x squared 5x minus 4. Okay, but does that make sense though? So 0 is a double. And then you know how to do the fractions, right?
The bottom one goes.
In the front, and you have to switch the sign. Okay. That one you just distribute.
I thought about it.
No,
I'll have to do it.
it's excellent. We like that one. Yes, yeah.
Just like for number 9,
Mhm.
like 0 mult 2, why is it like x squared a 1 down?
So the way Kuda is looking at it is this. So 0 is the root with a multiplicity of 2. I just didn't write the minus 0. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Connor?
What's like radical 3 times negative radical 3? That's negative 9, right?
It's negative radical 9, which is negative 3. I love that you use the word radical, by the way.
What?
I said I love that you use the word radical. Okay, so Connor, one more question for you. Number 12. Number 12. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
What type of root is this? Okay, what type of root is this?
Oh, like competitive? No, competitive. I mean, you're in the right. It's like conjective or like something.
He's trying. Okay. He knows he actually is answering one question from now. Complex.
That.
Okay. He's trying to put conjugate on there also. So what I'm asking is you need to know that this guy needs his best friend. Yeah. And this guy also needs his best friend. Notice I gave them to you on the other ones. This last one, you need to know that and add them in.
Like the best friends or the negative?
The negatives are the best friends.
Okay. So then you don't do what? You just do negative 3i and negative 10.
No, you do this one, this one, this one, this one, then there's 4.
Then you do 3i.
Yeah, so like this, you're gonna do x minus 3i, x plus 3i,
Yeah.
x minus root 10, x plus root 10. And then you do a 2 by 2 for these, and a 2 by 2 for those, and then, yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, you good? Okay. All right. Now find that resource page, please. And your notebook. We only have a tiny bit. This is it for the setup for the notebook for today. This is all the space you need right here. Well, it depends on how many people are. Oh, yeah, because it's about, well, there's only 24 people. There's 25 people. No, 24 people in here right now. Is it 23? Oh, Michaela's, yeah, is 23. Well, if you think about it, it's like 1/3 significant. Okay, just do it. Just do that. Does anyone need the compass? I'll put the compass over here in case anyone needs it. By the way, the Squishmallow today is a jar of peanut butter. He's super cute.
What do you do with them, like, when you, like, rip them off?
It depends.
They're like, you're like,
There are certain ones that I save for certain people that like remind me of them. And then there are certain ones that I save because I want to buy them. And then there are certain ones that I save because they're my favorite ones. And then certain ones go in the trash.
damn.
Well, I don't need 365 pieces of. There are some Squishmallows that are meant for like 3-year-old girls that are full of sparkles and stuff. And that's just not my thing. So you made a hexagon?
Oh, brother.
Okay. So once you get this set up, find the resource page and get a calculator in degrees, please. Calculator in degrees. Okay. What I want you guys to do, everybody have the notebook situated? Or have someone at your table that has the notebook situated that you can look at? Um, okay, what I want you to do is put this table at the top of your resource page and then take your calculator, make sure that it's in degrees, and take the cosine of those things and write the decimals down. So you need calculator, make sure it's in degrees,
Like, the photo or anything?
regular cosine. So right, just type cosine and then 0, cosine 15, cosine 30, cosine. And you should discover some familiar decimals, I'm hoping. This is a discovery moment. Round to 3 decimal places, please. Are any of these decimals seeming familiar? Yeah. Did you find the area code decimal? Okay, so check your table with my table when you're ready. These decimals should feel very familiar. They're the same ones that we got on that first couple of days when we graphed the screamer. So when we made that big table, it's like the first resource page, we use these same decimals. They're not in the same exact spot, but they're the same decimal. Okay, next thing, this is a check for understanding from yesterday. What does cosine represent on these triangles?
The bottom of the shape.
The base, yeah, okay, so I want to talk about reasonableness here. If the radius is 1, does it make sense that the length of this is about 0.966? If that's 1, 0.966, and is that about 0.866? And is that about 0.707? And is that about 0.5? Is that about 0.259? Why am I not labeling them? Because they all overlap each other, which is the annoying part about cosine. Like all of the bases overlap, hard to label. That's why we went to a table. Okay, but I do want you to know that they represents the base. So we're gonna put X here. And we're just gonna make ourselves a little note there to remind us. Cosine is the length of the base. Okay. So it's gonna feel really weird because for sine, I was able to take a ruler and go with the heights. I cannot do that with the length of the base. I have to kind of operate on this little bitty scale right here. Okay, but luckily we have our table. So at 0, the base is 1. And notice they labeled it base for me. They're helping me out. Okay, at 15 degrees, 0.965. So just make it like tiny bit lower. 30 degrees, 0.865. Would really help if I could actually put it straight above the mark though. Okay, next one, 0.707. 0.5, 0.25, 0. So you're getting your wave that you expect. It's just didn't start at the origin this time. What? Oh, nope.
No.
But you really can just,
Like,
yeah. Okay, now 105 degrees, we can tell it's going to start to go underground. That's negative 0.25. And do you guys feel like you can kind of follow the pattern from there? So we're going here, this is negative, and then we're going to go backwards up the table. So the next one, the next dot over is going to be negative 0.5. The next dot over is going to be negative 0.707. Then 866, then 966, and then negative 1. And then follow the symmetry. It's going to come back up in the same pattern. And then it's going to go back up above. This is not going to be perfect. Just do your best. Okay. Now what I want to do is you state, yes, honey, maybe. I'm sure the moon has a thing. Okay. So I'm gonna try to attempt to fold something. This is gonna be awkward for a minute because I'm gonna try to put something on the camera. It's hard to do. This is, okay, I'm just ripping the page off. Okay, this is the one you're looking at right now is y equals cosine. And then this is the one that we did the other day, which was sine. I need to take like a cameraman, but also this thing just a little taller. Okay, this is the best I can do. What are the similarities and differences between sine and cosine? Sine on the bottom, cosine on the top. First, the sine is the height, cosine is the basis. We know that. What do they have similar? They're both waves, great. What else? I'm looking for three things. One is that they're waves. Yeah,
Oh, one is the max value.
yes, they both have the same height. They both go to 1 and -1. That means their amplitude is 1. So they both have the same height. The last one's the hardest one. You guys got the two easy ones. Okay, think about the scale of the x-axis. Yeah, take it.
No, yeah.
Yes, they're 360 degrees long, which means it takes 360 degrees for it to complete a whole wave. Okay, that's the things they have in common. What do they not have in common? Okay, this is the most important thing that I'm going to need you to understand. Sine starts at the origin. And cosine starts at the top. Okay, and then once we get into this, we're gonna throw in negative sine and negative cosine. But for now, if you can just walk away from this saying sine starts at the origin, and I always say up, middle, down, middle, and then cosine starts at the top, up, middle, down, middle, up, and makes like a U shape. Okay, now let me blow your mind just a little bit. This is for my advanced people in class. I'm just gonna blow your mind a second. And cosine waves are actually the same thing. They are just a horizontal shift of each other. They're exactly the same wave, just a horizontal shift. So it's an H shift. Okay. That means that a lot of the problems that I give you have infinite answers. Oh, good. Okay. Now we're gonna do number 43. You go back to the notebook. Okay, so the plan is we're gonna do 43, 44. You have Kahoot, which is going to be very quick. And then I have a group practice thing for you to do for the quiz deal. Like it's the reference angle part that we need more practice on. And it will not take long, and then we will be done. Okay, 43. So for 43, we're gonna practice, we're gonna kind of pretend we're doing the quiz a little bit. which is helpful. But I'm going to give you a piece of information. I'm going to say that, what were the guys, Renee and Antonio? I think it was Antonio and Renee. Okay, they broke down 26 feet horizontally from the center. Okay, Renee and Antonio broke down 26 feet horizontally from the center. Okay, now I made my circle. You might be sad that you didn't make a better circle in a moment, but it's okay. I made my circle 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the screamer, just estimate it, it'll be fine. If the screamer is 100 feet, then what is the scale here? 20. Okay, which means that if I want to use this, it would be like 20 and then like a little bit more. So for whatever size circle you drew, try to go like a quarter of the way. Okay, now we're going to draw the bow tie. Now Theo's here, so I have to make sure that my 26 feet is the same on both sides as not to suffer ridicule. It's kind of a steep bow tie. I don't know who would be wearing this. Okay. Now, how long is the radius of the screamer? You weren't even here, honey. You didn't watch the screamer video yet. No. It's 100. Yeah. Okay. So label one of the hypoteni. I don't think that's actually that's not the plural of hypotenuse. I'm pretty sure it's hypotenuses, but label one of the hypoteni 100. I'm just saying that for fun. Okay. Which trig function do I need to use to figure out the angle? So 26 is on the base. 100 is on the hypotenuse. Inverse cosine. Wonderful job. Okay, so we're going to say cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And we're gonna round this to 75 degrees. Okay, so put 75 here. Now, does that make sense, reasonably speaking, knowing what you know about the circle? Does that look like it could be 75? Yeah. Okay. Now what I need you to do in your groups, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes. I need you to find the other 3 angles. And I need you to find an angle coterminal to 75. So find the other 3 quadrants. Find an angle coterminal to 75. Do not give me some crazy coterminal. This is quiz practice right here. Okay, now after you do this, what I'd like you to do for number 44, are you listening? Okay, after you find these, not the coterminal, just these four, I want you to prove that you're correct using the wave resource page for cosine. It's the next resource page after the one we just did. It's called the cosine calculator. I want you to find these and then prove your answer's correct using the cosine calculator. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Frustration is good. If you need help, look back at your sine calculator to see what we did there. Okay, here are the answers for this. The reference angle is 75. Quadrant 2 is 105. Quadrant 3 is 255. Quadrant 4 is 285. I did the laziest coterminal possible, which was 435. Anyone have any questions about these? Are we good with that? Are you sure? Hello? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, now to my cosine calculator. I went to 75 and went up to the curve, shot over here and found that it was the same distance away at 285. And then I found that equal distance away at 105 and 255. That proved to me that my answers were correct because these 4 degrees are the same distance away from the x-axis. So go back to your notebook under number 44, just list the 4 degrees. So 75, 105, 255, and 285. Okay, now you're done with your notebook, Chromebook time. To who? Okay, while you guys are doing or getting into the Kahoot, I'm gonna pass out the last thing that we're gonna do today, which is this. It's just finding reference tables. Each person at your table has a different one. So I'm just gonna put the pile in the middle of the table. You do not need to worry about this right now. Just ignore the pile. Especially for those people who like to work ahead, ignore the pile. This Kahoot is based on speed. Don't be surprised if time runs out. It's supposed to be fast. Oh no, here's my major complaint about the day. I don't have my Kahoot music. How am I supposed to do a Kahoot without the music? I haven't heard this music in like 2 weeks. How am I making it with life? Looking for 22 people. Twenty-one, actually. Oh, wait. 21, not 20. Theo, are we all waiting for you? Doesn't have to be exactly one away. It went 360 twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
Yeah, you said, why is there a spiral? I heard you say it. Does he go around what? Okay. But look, you're learning.
Yo, I have good at I'm at 0 points.
Just change the word initial to start. What does the word initial mean? Start. Okay. Okay, Thea. The direction of the arrow matters. Plane has nothing to do with anything.
Miss Talbot,
Hmm.
we have a little bit more time to do the question. I think we can talk about that one.
Nope, keep going.
All right. And the question.
Fine. Ooh. It's the only one that was negative that went around more than once. That's the only option. It's the direction of the arrow. So see how it's going backwards this way. But look at all the things you learn. The learning. Think of the learning. You forgot about the hearing thing. Okay. Oh, it's my favorite part. All right. Anyway, so you guys have a few minutes to work on the last thing, and this thing is supposed to be extremely quick. So get one of the pages that I put in the pile. Each one of yours is different, but you can help each other. All you need to do on these is sketch the angle and find the reference angle. Sketch the angle and find the reference angle. Okay, remember the definition of reference angle. It has to be between 0 and 90, and it has to be between the hypotenuse and the x-axis. Try not to use a calculator if you can help it. Walk around and help.